Alright, so Cadet Henderson is going to lead us in some stretching. And when we call personal stretch, we're actually going to break off into our mentor and mentee groups. Does everyone remember who their mentor is? Yes? No? I heard some no's. So if you don't know, just find a POC that doesn't have 3 or 4 GMC with him or her and go to them. Alright, so Cadet Henderson, it's the floor.
At my command, first exercise of the day will be the hamstring stretch. This is a 12-count exercise performed 2 repetitions. Position exercise, move.
That's crazy.
Alright, so this is going to be a warrior run. We're going to do it in formation, which means we will be in 2 columns, going straight that way, and there will be no talking. But remember to keep on step, so just listen for the heel beats and you'll be fine. And if you have to, go off the person in front of you. So we'll be in 2 columns. Alpha will start off first, then Bravo, then Charlie. And we'll stop at a station about a mile down that way to hear a fallen hero story from one of our POC. And as a quick note, for those who know about the schedule, there will be dining in later this year. If you'll take a look that way, just behind those trees there's a big metal building. That's the guard and reserve building. That's where we'll be holding dining in. So just as a point of reference, when we say, hey, we're having dining in this week, that's where we're going. All good? All right, so Alpha, go ahead and start falling out. Bravo, Charlie, follow in suit.
Gary.
Remember, 2 columns.
I guess I'm more nervous, but frankly, I don't recommend it. I would much rather lose than you and never win. I just want
If you don't have a bottle of water,
I'm so nervous.
I'm not ready to eat those.
Alright, at this station I'm going to tell you about a fallen hero. Just everyone keep it quiet and get through it pretty quick. It's a pretty neat story. It's about an Air Force captain named Lance Sejon. On the night of November 9th, 1967, for his 52nd combat mission, Sejon and pilot Lieutenant Colonel John Armstrong were tasked with a bombing mission over North Vietnam. As they rolled in on their target to release their ordnance, their F-4C was engulfed in a ball of fire due to the bomb fuses malfunctioning and causing a premature detonation on their release. The Phantom then entered a banking climb before plunging into the jungle. Sejon managed to eject from the aircraft, and a search and rescue crew radioed him that they were attempting a rescue. After almost a whole day was spent locating his position and softening up air defenses in the area, the search and rescue forces were finally able to get one of the helicopters roughly over Sejon's position. During his operation, over 20 aircraft were damaged by anti-aircraft fire and had to return to base. Sejon, refusing to put other airmen in danger, insisted on crawling into the jungle and having a penetrator lowered by the helicopter instead of sending down the helicopter's parajumpers to carry him. However, the helicopter crew could not spot him in the jungle, and after 33 minutes, the rescue team, which faced enemy fire in the growing darkness, had to withdraw. Search efforts continued the next day, but they were called off when no further radio contact was made with Sejon. He was placed on MIA status. Sejon had suffered a fractured skull, a mangled right hand, and a compound fracture on the left leg from his rough landing. He was without food, with very little water, and no survival kit. Nevertheless, he evaded enemy forces for 46 days, all the time scooting on his back down the rocky limestone karst on which he landed, causing more injuries. The North Vietnamese finally captured him on Christmas Day, 1967. Emaciated and in poor health, he still managed to overpower his guard and escape. but was recaptured several hours later. So John was transported to a holding compound in Vinh, North Vietnam, where he was placed in the care of 2 other POWs, Air Force Colonel Robert R. Craner and Air Force Captain Guy Gruters. In considerable pain from his wounds, he suffered beatings and extensive torture from his captors, but never gave any information other than what the Geneva Convention allowed. Suffering from exhaustion, malnutrition, and disease, he was sent to Hanoi. In his weakened state, he contracted pneumonia and died in Hoi Lo prison on January 22, 1968. First Lieutenant John was promoted after his death to captain on June 13, 1968. His remains were repatriated on March 13, 1974, and were positively identified on April 22, 1974. So John received the Medal of Honor after his death in 1976.
So does anyone have any comments, anything come to mind when you think about something like this?
Sergeant Hall at the United States Air Force Academy. One of the 4 cadet dorms named after him.
Okay. What else? Anything? Any stir any emotions? Just whatever comes to mind, just speak your mind.
As much pain as he was in.
Go ahead.
He never gave up.
Never gave up. What else? I was about to say, there's one thing. There's a couple things.
He put the rest of the airmen before him instead of having them risk their lives for him.
That's a good one. Service before self. What else?
It's remarkable how determined he was.
Determination. That's definitely a big one.
Do you think these things make someone a hero?
Yeah.
That's why we honor him.
It's one of those things that when you think about, you really can't really put yourself in his position and be like, oh, well, I would have done the same. That's something, that's bravery, that's courage, that's everything we can only aspire to do.
I know there are some of y'all who are going through some pretty tough stuff. There's a lot of workload and stuff with college, ROTC. I know some of y'all are doing Arnold Air Society. You're like, man, this sucks, but is it really that bad? Could be in his shoes. So when I hear stories like that, it's very inspiring. But more than anything, it reminds me that I'm pretty fortunate here. That there may be maybe a lot going on in my life and going on in the world, but it's really not that bad. You can always think positively and be optimistic and just press forward. Anything else, anybody?
Sure to be drinking your water, stay hydrated. Still some over here, but otherwise you're ready to go back on the trail.
Let's have Alpha loop around this way, and then we'll go back out onto the trail. Bravo, Charlie, follow in suit.
Charlie, just stay where you are for right now, and we'll let Alpha go between us. I'm going to be talking to you about Lieutenant Michael Murphy. A lot of you might recognize that name because Lone Survivor that just came out. This is basically his biography and what happened to him. He's a Medal of Honor winner, one of the most recent ones to be awarded the Medal of Honor, and one of the most high-profile ones due to his story being told via the book and the movie. So he was born in 1976 in New York, and he did his undergraduate at Penn State University, where he received his commission in the United States Navy. From there, he went to BUD/S in Pensacola, which is basically the intro school to being a Navy SEAL. He became a Navy SEAL in 2000 and started deploying, and I believe he went on 2 to 3 deployments before that fateful deployment in 2006 whenever Lone Survivor occurrence happened. So basically, if you haven't seen the movie Lone Survivor, they were on a 14 reconnaissance mission. They were trying to go deep into the Kandahar province in Afghanistan to catch a really bad terrorist who has orchestrated many attacks on our servicemen and women. Like the week before, had killed like 25 people. And their mission was to go recon and take him out if given the green light. So they did a 4-man mission. They were up in the mountains for a while, and while they were up there scouting everything out, they had a couple of villagers stumbled upon them that were goat farmers and pretty much blew their entire cover. And they were forced with the decision of either A, eliminate the compromise, or B, let them go and then hope for the best, and then C, let them go and just try to get out. So what they did was they probably did the best humanitarian decision, and they did not kill the innocent farmers, but the farmers went back to their village and told the Al-Qaeda down there that, hey, there's these U.S. service members up here, so go get them. So what happened is they stayed and tried to finish their mission, but they got kind of outmaneuvered due to the fact that the local fighters knew the terrain better than all of them. So what happened was an intense firefight that lasted for hours. They were trying to get support in, but their radios were down. And they were just trying to get to the top of the mountain and get away as much as they could and try to keep all their members behind. They were trying to do no man left behind. One of them only got out. Michael Murphy was the lieutenant who was in charge of the entire 4-man squad, and he basically sacrificed himself so that the rest of his members of his squad could survive. What happened is he went up on top of a little mountaintop to try and get their sat phone to work, and he basically sacrificed himself but to try and get the call in to get air support, which ended up working, which is the only reason why the only guy that's left got out. So what he did that day is basically the ultimate sacrifice for his teammates, his branch, and his country, and he sacrificed himself for all of us to be able to go and try and follow in his footsteps. So I hope you take some inspiration from him. If you haven't seen Lone Survivor, I really highly suggest you go watch it, because it really got me pumped up and definitely got me feeling very patriotic and all that stuff. So that's about it for me. Anybody have anything they want to say about that? Anybody seen the movie? Talbot?
When I saw that whole entire scene, it pretty much made me choke up, man. Almost tears started streaming down my face.
I was in the same boat. In the exact same boat. It's really scary. Is that my way?
As we were running, I was thinking about how important it is for us to decide now whether or not we're going to be someone who, in a situation like that, will put others before ourselves. Whether we will display determination and the will to survive and to do what's right and what we need to. Because when we're in a situation like that, I think it's going to be a lot harder to commit to those principles, to those actions. And we all need to take a look at ourselves now and decide whether or not we are going to follow those footsteps.
That's an excellent point. You got to be willing to put yourself in harm's way to help your fellow wingmen. He was in a situation to where if he didn't do that, they were all going to die. And because of his sacrifice, at least one of them got out that day. You have to be willing to sacrifice yourself to make sure that others may live that are with you. So you always got to be able to put other people above yourself. That's part of this calling that we're receiving of being an officer. Anybody else? No? Okay. Y'all just take a minute to cool off a little bit and then get ready to run some more.
You walked in, you passed the flags of our armed services. You passed those stones there, which represent the eternal flame, the bedrock of our resolve, which is unbreakable. These flags stand in memorial of those who've gone before us and those who are currently serving, those who've sacrificed, who gave their lives, who've come back injured, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. Those who've given up time away from their families, and those who've served in the rear, researching and developing and acquiring the technology and the equipment that's necessary to keep more of our people alive on the front lines. The face of what we do has changed over the years. In World War II, my granddad would send home an airmail, a letter on basically tissue paper, and it would get home months later, heavily redacted and blacked out. In Vietnam, I spoke with a veteran earlier this week, and he was talking about how they had a tape recorder that they would make recordings on, send home to their loved ones. In Iraq, I had an old field phone that I would call over a satellite connection when the satellites were working back home every once in a while, and I could talk to my loved ones. In Afghanistan, I had internet. I could Skype home. The way we talk home, the way we fight, the way we operate will change through the years, but our resolve remains steady and firm, and our purpose remains sure. Where you go from here, some of you may go on to be security forces, try to find your way out into the mud, into the front lines with a rifle, with airmen, and with soldiers in the joint fight, and the Marines, and the Navy. Some of you may find your way into a cockpit, defending from 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, dropping freedom on the foreheads of terrorists. Some of you may fight from the rear echelon, providing support, doing the research, finding the new technologies and the new ways to better destroy our enemies and better save our lives and keep our airmen safe and our soldiers and our Marines. It doesn't matter what area of the fight you go, we will all serve. So I hope that we're all ready for that. Press forward. I know some of y'all, you seniors, you're getting a lot closer to it. Get excited. And what is it you say at the LLab? That's 670. Cowboys!
If you need water in your water bottle, there's a water fountain. Try to use that, and then you shoot the cooler.
Left, right, keep it in step right. I'm a steamroller, baby. Lefty, right, left.
So much. That was much more like it.
Outstanding, sir.
Is it Hoorah, the Marine Corps, sir?
I did. Someday when you're old enough, I'll explain why.
Well, my parents are Marines, sir. I approve.
This time, we're going to divide up into flights and go to different GLPs. Alpha flight, you'll go that way to do the fence GLP. Follow Cadet Anderson. Bravo flight, you will head down to that peninsula to the Pier Patrol GLP. Let's go. Charlie flight, you will have flight time with Cadet Volpe.
McLaughlin.
All right. Okay, Anderson, who do you want to be flight commander?
There's Dixon is.
All right.
Alright, so you're the flight commander for this, so specifically you make sure you listen, but everybody listen up. Alright, so this is called the Electric Fence GLP. Supplies, you just have a string, whatever, time limit 10 minutes. So, the enemy has chased your flight up to a fence. The fence extends as far as the eye can see, so finding an opening in the fence would take too long. Further investigation reveals that a deadly electric current is running through the fence. One touch will kill a person. Your pursuers have lost sight of you and your flight, giving you enough time to scale the fence. If a person touches the fence, they are dead and must be carried over the barrier. The exercise is completed when the entire flight is on the other side of the fence or time expires.
You cannot throw or do anything.
Nothing dangerous.
Get a Richie off foot. Are we allowed to use the tree?
Yeah.
The rope?
Yeah.
You have 2 minutes to ask questions.
Are we allowed to use sticks or materials? Are we also allowed to talk during this one?
Only your flight will be allowed to talk. Any other questions? Everybody needs to get over the fence. And even if somebody touches it, you have to get them over the fence.
Did you get that on camera? Use trash?
Yeah, Taylor, for the remaining of the time, can you use this group discussion? You have 2 minutes to ask questions. Everyone have a point.
Also, don't forget time. No, you're not.
Probably work better. I got time.
I suggest, I think the rope is actually shorter than that end.
Or maybe in the middle
should be the lowest because it was south the most.
Yeah, we need to find the lowest point.
Like a,
That's the higher. I'm gonna sign up for you.
Okay, so one person can get on their knees, one can crawl over, and 2 people can leave.
Yeah, or we can support them. The first people we're going to have to get over so they can like get down to you, so you can step on and not, because you can't jump right. They said
The enemy is coming faster than you expected. You have 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to plan, 8 minutes to complete it.
get people over and then have them help.
So, are you going to be the one that can talk?
If
anybody has additional suggestions, come to me and then I'll bring it to him.
But you can't. We can make it.
I know.
we make a pyramid, but you might lose some in translation if you go make one more person.
10 seconds.
Yeah. You want to make a pyramid and have people walk over?
Like 2 people on the fence and use 1 person above them.
Okay, we got 5 seconds. We can start with that. 2,
Alright.
1, time's up.
No
8
talking,
minutes.
so 2 people down.
Only flight commander can talk.
Okay, face each other. Side by side, not somebody on top of them. Alright. And then people support. Great.
A little bit dangerous, but we'll let it slide this time.
Okay, stand up and help people. There. Somebody else. Gotcha.
Ooh. Touched.
We touched it.
Someone touched it. All right, lay down.
Okay, we're gonna
Or
keep
you
up
can just sit down, but you're not allowed to
We're
move.
gonna keep up the same
Can I
plan.
talk to?
Nope.
Okay, I'm assuming commands. We're gonna keep up the same plan. So guys, stay on the ground. You guys are gonna be catching. Okay. Yeah. 1 person on each side. We're gonna help the person over. We're gonna have to carry him over actually. Let me help me catch him. Let me hold the bottom. Very carefully. You guys got him? Good.
Ooh, someone
Okay,
touched.
get back
Who
on the
touched?
ground. 2
Who
people
touched?
back on the ground. Okay, we need to
Richie,
start
hold on.
moving.
Who touched? Somebody touched it.
Glenn and I are going to help people over.
Hey, Richie.
Listen up. Who
Richie.
touched? Who touched?
Somebody touched the wire. And
I'm
move.
not sure. Did anybody feel the wire?
All right, 1 person's dead on that side.
Okay, we need. Then let's go over. Glenn and I are going to help him. Okay, we're going to go with the same strategy we did with. Sorry guys, get out of the way. 1 whip not go down. Long ways just like we did. Right into the left. Cadet Taylor, is it going to be acceptable for a cadet to jump over if the cadet's confident enough?
Maybe the last one.
Yes,
Maybe.
Go down the ground. Let's get this going fast. Time hack, how much time do we have? Send me your watch. Good, thank you. We got plenty of time. We're at 2:45. Over. Don't touch the wire, watch it. Good. Okay. Ready? We're gonna do ready. Ready, help me. It's gonna be lighter than 1, so we're gonna do 1. We're gonna need some help with that. Ready, go. Arms, watch the wire. Watch the wire. Good. Okay. Can you get on my shoulders? Nice job. I can lift you up. Watch his legs. Okay. There you go. Good. Time back. That's the opposite side.
Momentum carried the dead body over.
All right,
Cadet Taylor,
guys.
we finished about as
Okay, that's fine. You guys had 3 dead. For both flight commander, yeah, there you go, and deputy flight commander, give them some feedback, positive, negative, what worked, what didn't, how's communication, stuff like that.
Good question, real quick. Richie, who was your deputy?
I didn't appoint one actually.
So when you died, just know, but anarchy.
That's true.
We're gonna take them.
At the beginning, we just needed to get things rolling. We were just kind of standing there. We needed to start putting ideas in. We needed to,
As soon as we had a plan going, it worked pretty effectively, to say the least. I mean, that was pretty fast.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. That was pretty good. Other comments?
I was guessing for myself, maybe I could have not died so soon. Maybe don't like involve so much in the lifting. Maybe.
Whenever you're doing GOPs, the key is not to die. You'll notice because then you take yourself totally out of the equation, especially at field training. Do not die.
Also, don't limit yourself to less than what we give you, because we never said only one person can talk until you guys asked us.
Yeah.
So all y'all could have talked if nobody asked a question, because we didn't tell you you couldn't. So.
And if you guys were wrong in that sense, we would have walked up to you and told you only one person can talk.
So don't limit yourself before the task even starts.
Other comments?
I think it was good, even though we didn't maybe have the most efficient or effective plan initially. It's good just to go with the plan, even if it's not the best way to do it. As long as you're moving forward, you're going somewhere. And then once we figure out a better way, it was good that we could communicate, and they responded to that. Our leaders responded to that. So
yeah, nonverbal was really hard at first, but once we
thought we had pretty good.
Once you got it across, we were able to execute that.
The key is to establish a good flow of communication if everybody can talk while you're doing stuff. Get some ideas flowing around, but once you have a good idea and the flight commander feels like it's a good idea, then it's probably a good time to roll with that and quit stopping going. Not that you guys did that.
Another thing to think about before you start something like this is you have the general idea of what you're supposed to do, but then you'll get halfway through it and be like, oh crap, how am I going to get the last person over here? So think about the ending as well. Don't just start the process and be stuck in the middle because you can't figure out how to finish. So make sure your plan is efficient the whole way.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
We finished in 3:53, so that's pretty
upright.
Exceeded our time.
You guys got penalized for dead bodies, but that's about it.
We got the dead over though. Even
flight,
Richie died and went over.
All over.
Good enough flight. Yeah.
Drive over.
Do this. Who wants to lead? I want hand up to B one.
Tags on us.
Someone talking to them?
You and your fighter station in a hostile area in airport. A shipment of vital supplies is coming in and you must secure the area while it's being moved. Both rebels are hostile towards Americans, especially American troops, and they have been reported to infiltrate and sabotage these cargo vessels. However, most local citizens support the U.S. soldiers in the area. To maintain good diplomacy, we must treat them well and provide support. The designated leader must delegate positions and duties to provide security. At a minimum, security checkpoint must be established to allow supplies personnel through. Alright, so what you're going to have 1 minute to plan. You have 30 seconds to set up. They're going to be coming from this way. You're going to be securing this area, so you're going to shut this down right here.
This down?
Mm-hmm. Alright. So they're going to be coming from that way. Don't let them over there. That makes sense? Yes. All right. Go ahead.
Keep moving. Raise your rifle. I told you to stop.
Deputy Flight Commander.
Are you going to
I'm Hick. I need 1 minute right now for planning.
Oh, you got it.
And then we got 30 seconds set up. So we have locals that are, some are hostile, some are friendly towards the area. We need to secure this area and not let them pass. Set up a checkpoint here. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, security 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, security 2, security 3.
Okay, get in group.
So groups that is assigned.
How often do you want time? 3 per minute?
What?
Yes, that'd be great.
Oh, you have 30 seconds left.
Alright, cover the whole area. So, the POC, explain what they're doing and how to set security checkpoints.
15 seconds. Hey, set one of them out that side. Security 3 over here, and security 2 in the middle.
Yeah. Security 2 here, covering the sidewalk. 3 over there, covering down.
Hey, if one person checking your flank, one person looking the back on your rear.
All right, you have 30 seconds to set up.
360.
Beginning now. 30 seconds to set up.
Make sure you guys have security to your rear as well, and make sure, cover the whole area, right? So, make sure you know where you're looking.
How long did you give? 30 seconds. Overall, I'd say 10 minutes. However long they got.
That's time. Begin exercise.
Halt! Identify yourself!
Over there.
Stop. Identify yourself.
I'm here to see your best commander.
Why?
I have the president of Saudi Arabia. He's here.
Hey,
He's
stay
here.
back. Let me go check him out.
Schedule.
Put your hands in the air.
I'm just driving. I'm just driving.
car.
I'm just driving. What are you doing? No, do you not know our customs? We don't leave our card.
You silly? I'm in a Bentley. Come on.
We're gonna search your car.
Come on. No, you don't search my car. It's the president. You want the president to be out in the streets? I'll drive through.
Hey, back up.
I'll drive through your checkpoint. We'll drive. Whoa, why are you shooting at my president?
Hey, what do you do? What is this? What did we do? What did we do?
So you didn't stop. You didn't stop.
What did we do? Bang!
Bang! Already killed you. Bang!
That's bulletproof Bentley. What are you doing? Why are you killing my people?
Get his tires, get his tires.
Grenade!
I believe your guys are supposed to.
What are you doing? You Americans are mean people! You Americans are mean people! What do we do?
Killed the president. Straight up shot us. They just straight up shot us.
Heads up, heads up.
That's my perfectly good fishing pole!
Oh, I definitely killed Brant. Sorry.
Oh, it's gonna pop up somewhere like
What did y'all do over here?
Halt! Stop! Identify yourself! Stop! Stop coming!
Please
Stop!
stop.
Halt! Bang! Bang!
Bang! Bang! Bang!
Halt! Identify yourself! Halt! Stop! Stop!
Bang! 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 Bang!
Halt! Stop! Stop! Identify yourself! Who are you? Stop! Stop moving! Bang!
Halt! Identify yourself!
Blind guy, stop.
Halt!
Stop. Blind man, stop. Halt.
Stop moving!
Why? Blind man, halt. Halt. Approaching from
Hands in the air!
Search you.
Hands in the air!
You were seeing ghosts now. I'm searching you.
I'm searching you. Get your hands off me! Get your hands off
Sir,
me!
you need to step
You
away
have made
from
me
the premises.
unclean!
You need to step away. Step back now.
Step back.
Step back or we will fire. Step back or we will fire. Bang! Bang!
Turn around. Put your hands in the air. All the way up. All the way up. All the way up. Put your hands in the air.
Maybe he's deaf.
Hands in the air, please. Thank you. Spread your fingers.
Jumping escalation from
Alright.
stop to
Turn around.
you shot an old blind man.
What did I do? What did I do?
Alright.
You have been forgiven.
Don't understand you Americans, aren't you?
Hey,
Right now.
Hey, it's over.
hey, Brad, you're American now.
No, you guys.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Alright, horseshoe up again. Oh.
Right.
Right here.
I don't understand.
Okay, Charlie, bring it in, Charlie. I have some words
Horseshoe.
for them.
Yeah, Matuzak.
Double parking right now at the Grove. It's double parking. That's what that looks like. No double parking.
You died.
I'm not making a
I did
square to offset.
Nobody asked me.
Horseshoe
I never got challenged.
Like a bigger horseshoe. You should stay for the next one.
Okay, Charlie, listen up.
Yes, I
What
do.
are some positives that Nagus did?
I never got challenged,
Absolutely
Brent.
nothing. Besides, that is negative.
Camera makes me special.
How did you bulletproof it?
He quickly made, like, he was very rapid in his decision making. Like, as soon as he got here, he started.
Right, very good.
The basics you said. Definitely need a time hack, which is always good.
He knew that that people from last year had already done this exercise, so he instructed them to lead the
Use his resources. We set the time we had.
So what are a few improvements that you could do?
I don't know if he asked for more time, but in this GLP it would have been nicer to have more time between the amount of groups that we had.
Okay. Just be more vocal so everyone can hear you, especially on the battlefield. You can't hear anything, so just be really loud.
Anything else?
Whoever shot me after I said hello, you're probably wrong.
So, I don't know who it was, but there was just a random civilian who couldn't speak English over here, and he was dead. I just found him dead over there. So, I mean, these guys, not everyone is bad, so you really have to do a good job at, like, detain them. Don't shoot them by them saying the hello. There was another blind old man shot over here.
We had the president.
What is the
Oh yeah, you guys murdered the president of Saudi
What is the
Arabia.
correct way to detain someone who is uncooperative?
Yes.
First off, considering the fact you had Cadet Click up here, it would have been appropriate for you to assign another group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bingo, bingo.
So you would have had her put her hands up in the air and then behind her back and get on her knees and you would have grabbed her. Simulating detention, and then.
So you want us to go through the ECP procedures?
Yep.
But what about with everyone else that had
With everyone else?
I had a
guess
baby.
It would have just been one of those simulation things, like the fact that the person pull up in a car. It would have been like simulate searching the vehicle. You know, the stuff that you expect to do that you can't really do because there's not an actual car. I would have. But yeah, definitely. I would have not just going up and like, oh, I've got a baby. Shoot this guy and his baby. But
especially if he says he's the president, check credentials. Just ask, hey, can I see? She's deaf. She can't. Can I see credentials? Can I see the president? He's president.
Or are you on the authorized entry list for today?
Another thing is that guns should not be your first resort. We saw just a lot of like, stop, bang, 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 bang. Like there's no time for anyone to respond. The first thing you should do is hold up a sign and say stop. And if the person just refuses to cooperate, usually if you're aggressive and you say stop, people are going to understand at least your intent, even if they don't speak your language. But then if they keep coming, then maybe you raise your weapon or something to show like we're serious about this.
That's like international sign of don't come further. My gun is pointed.
Guns speak every language, but that shouldn't be your first resort because you killed a lot of people, and I don't think anyone ran at you with a gun or had a bomb or anything like that.
Also, another thing is you guys stop them right on your line. If you see them coming, tell them to stop, and you're 20 feet away. If you throw up the sign 20 feet away, and they continue to come, and then you bring up their gun, and they continue to advance on you, that is when you give the all clear. But you guys didn't even give them that chance to stop, and they were already talking to you. So if you do that, you'll be good.
Besides that, we gotta get going, but good job, Cadet Magus. We're gonna head over to the water fountain right now and get a drink.
Try to slide.
Next one. So good job.
Hey, Alpha, who's your
Dead hot! At ease! Alright, good job today, guys. Way to push it. We have a couple words from the commander.
Yes, we do. All right, good job, guys. For field training, we'd usually head out the back gate about 04:45 or so. Some of you here were with me. About 320, we might make it back with about 275, so that many would fall out. We got about 80 here today. We only had one that did not quit, but continued on, so good job. You guys do this all the time, right? You go out and run 5Ks for fun? Yes, sir. How many of you, this is your first 5K? How many of your first 5K this semester? Okay, so this should give you an idea of where you're at physically. We're going to do this a lot, and you're going to be in shape when it comes time to do your PFA and go to field training. The only things you can control is your GPA, which that's the first thing you're here for, is to get a degree. Next one you can control is your physical fitness, and we will help you with that. Everybody around you will help you with that. So without further ado, Cadet Painter, come up front and center. A lot of times we have different boards, different rack and stack. Every year, every semester, something new happens. For this one, we've already gone through one rack and stack for a competitive bid to get a rated slot. They rack and stack that between pilot, CISO, RPA, and air battle managers. Out of that, last semester, he had gotten a pilot slot. Now, some of the things behind that is he used to have a 4.0.
Oh, you can't say that!
Or close to it. And he's in pretty good physical shape, at least an excellent or better. So those are the things to strive for. But in that rack and stack, he also was selected for INJEP, which is Euro-NATO Joint Jet Fighter Training. So out of this detachment, every year we have the highest number of pilot selects. This last EA slot, or to go to field training, our average was 78%, where the national average was at 68%. 60%, and then just down the road, maybe about southeast, about an hour and a half, theirs was something a little bit less than the national average. So, that's a testament to you guys. Keep up the good work.
Smarter than me. All right. And now we have Cadet Thompson from Army ROTC talking to us about the Relay for Life.
Hey everybody, my name is James Thompson. I'm currently the XO over at Army ROTC. I'm pitching you guys Relay for Life. Does anybody know what Relay for Life is? I got like one person in the back. What is it? Yeah, it's an event sponsored by the American Cancer Society, and basically it's this huge event. It's next semester. So what does that mean for us? Well, our team, Oklahoma State ROTC, notice I did not say Army. We are making this thing about as joint as we can possibly make it. You know, if I had an actual olive branch to say, you know, here we go, I would have brought it. But I couldn't find any olive trees in Oklahoma. So, yeah. So here's why I decided to be the team captain of Relay for Life. Think back to Christmas 2009. Where were you guys doing Christmas 2009? Somebody.
Family.
You were with family. Where at?
Tulsa.
Tulsa. So you're hanging out with family at Tulsa. I was actually over at my grandma's house, just about 30 minutes north, over at Perry, Oklahoma. My grandma probably very similar to yours. You know, good Southern housewife. There was never a bad meal over at her house. Anyway, she's sitting at the dinner table that night, and we're having Christmas dinner, and I noticed that her plate is significantly smaller than everybody else's. I said, "Grandma, what's going on here?" She said, "Well, I've kind of had some stomach issues." I said, "All right, well, you know, you go to the doctor and, you know, just let us know about it." She says, "Well, I got an appointment down there in Oklahoma City, so I'll be staying over at your house after New Year's." I said, "Yeah, that sounds good." I was just 16 years old. I'm thinking that, okay, she just didn't go to the doctor and, you know, everything's fine. Doctor checks her out and says, "Okay, we got to rush you over to surgery right now." They open her up, they remove her gallbladder. Doctor said it looked like a grenade of tumors went out inside of her stomach. She already had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So there I am, a junior in high school, and I get to watch my grandma die from January of what was then 2010, all the way to her death on August 3rd. So, yeah. Whenever I say cancer sucks, and I hate cancer, it's because it's fucking personal. Sorry. So, if you think that, you know, I'm doing this for a cause that, you know, I just want to get some volunteer hours, you know, maybe put something on my resume, you know, that might be some bonus, but I'm doing it because there's some poor kid out there, you know, can't afford any treatment and wants to, and needs a meal. Only for every $5 that we raise, that's a meal for that kid. Like last year, the numbers were like every $75 you raise, that goes for a day of housing for a family of about 4 at one of these events. So, yeah, if we can get, you know, the more people that we have sign up for Relay for Life, the better it is, the more effective we are. It's not about divisions, it's not about Army versus Air Force, it's about kicking cancer's ass. Because this is the thing that needs to end, and it has no place on this earth. If you're interested in signing up for the Relay for Life team, it's really not a huge time commitment on you guys' part. I'm a junior, you know, I'm trying to get a job over at Career Fair and everything else. You guys are busy as crap also. And I know some of you guys are fixing to graduate, move on, go over your training. But, you know, it's a very good cause for you guys. I would love to see my Air Force friends, you know, right next to me whenever we're doing our events. I would really appreciate it if I can get you guys to sign up. Let's help out. Thank you. Yes. Relay for Life, the actual event, Relay for Life, that you guys are going to hear about is next semester, but it's like a 24-hour event where back when I ran it as a freshman, and that's how actually I met Zach Taylor back there. It's like a cancer walk. They have a walk. I'm not, they're very similar to your POWMIA run that's here. Yes, sir.
That POWMIA run you just brought up.
Yes,
Glad
sir.
you did.
Yes, sir.
We have the POWMIA run on October the 11th. It's a 24-hour event, just like you're mentioning right there. I would like to offer up that however many Army cadets you have come and support our POWMIA run around Camp or Boomer Lake here, we will match that. You guys up for that?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Sounds good, sir. I'm gonna get stuff done for you.
Sounds awesome. If you can get 80, I think I got 80 volunteers.
Try my best, sir. So that sounds like a plan to me. If you guys would also like to, sign up for a Relay for Life on your own, I will personally be here at your POWMIA run. I believe that you're going to give me that list so I can sign up for myself. I'm going to be here just about all day on that thing. So hopefully I'll see you, and whenever you guys get dismissed here, come see myself or get up for Shed over here. And I'd love to get to know your name, get to know who you are. Thank you.
All right, one more announcement. Next week, there will not be a leadership lab. There's a game Thursday, so go have fun with that. The week after that, please bring $10 to LLab for dining in. So just make sure you write that down, put that on your calendars. Bring $10 to LLab, we'll remind you again. And at this time, we'll do flight chants. So we'll start off with Charlie Flight.
Hard fight, fighting in the field's gonna be a lieutenant someday. We got blood on our face, lifting up pace, waving our guidon all over the place, singing, we will bite you. Scream it! We will bite you.
No, there's no.
Johnny Bravos! Don't touch the hair! Bravo or bust!
Bravo bus.
Okay,
Alpha! Alpha Flight! Who are we? Ankle Breakers! Ooh! Kill them!
All right. Good job, guys. Good job. Is that Faulkner? Okay. For the review.
All right. So real quick, let's do a recap of LLab today. All right. So first of all, we did our warrior run. We had a couple of fallen soldier stories. They were pretty outstanding. We heard some pretty heroic feats and things. We talked about Lieutenant Sajon. We talked about how he was a down pilot and had to survive in the jungle and not go through some tough times. We talked about how it's rough here in college, but it can be a lot rougher in different places. We also talked about Mike Murphy and Lieutenant Lindsay presenting that story. And basically, in those kind of situations, if you're in charge, you're going to have to make tough decisions, and you're going to have to stick to your guns. I mean, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, when you're in charge of people and they're depending on you, you got to make a decision and you got to go forward, keep pressing forward. Saw a couple good things with our GLP. I know with the electric fence one, that was a little bit more just go and blow. I guess you don't have a lot of time, so you need to make decisions quickly and come up with a plan. I know a few of you were down to only one person, and you're kind of like, okay, so what do we do from here? So you got to learn to adapt and come up with a new strategy. Also, with the peer protection, it's a little chaotic. It's pretty good. Or it'd be a good idea to come up with a solid plan. You're going to come with situations like that during field training, possibly, and it's going to be crazy, chaotic. You're going to have to make decisions on the fly and make sure your people understand what your plan is, so that way you're not trying to just run around all over the place and trying to figure out what to do. So Next, we're going to go into some awards. So if I can have the guidon bearers come up front and center, please. All three. All right, so last week we had our first ORI of the semester. We did a tally on that and on all the gigs, and the winner of the ORI goes to Alpha Flight. All right. Next award is going to be our Warrior Flight of the Month. So the way Warrior Flight of the Month works is we tally your, first of all, like your flight chants, those are big, your warrior spirit that we see, also your PT attendance, that goes into effect. So after this last month, the winner of the Warrior Flight of the Month goes to Charlie Flight. This goes into your enhanced drill attendance, also goes into your LLab attendance and your warrior knowledge scores. And this month's honor flight goes to Alpha Flight.
Yeah! Kill him! Ooh! Kill him!
All right. Thank you. All right, so you can see these, some of these guidons are starting to fill up with ribbons. So keep that in mind when you're coming to GLP, when you're thinking of, or when you're coming to LLab, going to PT attendance, going in enhanced drill. These are the type of awards that you can show off, and it shows that you're putting out that extra effort, and your flight can be proud of those. So keep up the hard work.
All right, anything else? Good night, Terry. There is a pool party tomorrow at 16:30 at the Colvin. Be there, be square. Yes.
I'm taking the sign-up sheet for the Army, POWMI run to the Army next week. So if you want to sign up, please get to me first so the Army doesn't take all the spots at times you can possibly want. But you can have as many people run as you want together. So it's just not going to be too, you can have like 10 people run together, but I'm taking them to the Army next week so they can sign up.
All right, great job today, guys. Tech 670! Cowboys! Dismissed! All right, everyone at ease. Good afternoon, Tech 670. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Good. All right, good job. So I see a lot of you guys have started warrior knowledge already. That's what we're going to do for the first 10 minutes. So flight commanders, if you haven't already, take control of your flights and carry out the orders of the day.
Not have a pencil or a pen.
Hey, 250s, raise your hand.